This is Robert of Pioneer Smokehouses, and today we're doing the second part with our Masterbuilt MPS230, and that is a propane smoker, two-door unit, 30-inch. What this part of the video is the seasoning part. I wanted to do it all in one video, but we ran way long, and I don't like to post 30-minute videos. So if you want to see the setup, you can look in the video list, and I'll try to put that link in the description below. And then you'll be able to watch me set this up and see how easy it really is. We'll go ahead and get right into the seasoning of this smoker. So let's take you to that part of the video. So I had to make a few changes here because I went to set everything up and lo and behold, it started raining. So, you know, umbrella, that kind of stuff had to be taken care of. So I hope the picture still looks good. First off here, what we need to do is we need to get the smoker ready for seasoning. Now, it's really important that we get a little bit of oil on there, and the reason is because it'll keep things from sticking and getting gummed up. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we don't get any oil on the smoker. What I like to do is either take a piece of foil or else the water pan will work really well, and just stick it down here and cover the burner, or else if you have an electric burner, the same thing. Cover that area completely because you don't want the oil to get in there. We are lightly spraying the inside, not the burner compartment, just the cooking compartment. And then again, across the top, a second coat. And the inside of the door. If you have a glass door, spray the inside of the glass door twice, just like you would with the roof of the compartment. As we use the smoker, we won't be cleaning it on a regular basis. The only thing we'll be cleaning is the very top of it. So just simply wiping it off with a hot rag or a wet paper towel will do the trick to keep it clean and keep stuff from falling down into your food. Also, in between shots, I took the liberty to get a propane tank. Now, you can buy propane tanks. They don't come included with your smoker, of course, but you can buy propane tanks at your local store. Usually they run in the $40 range with propane already in them. If you have an old propane tank laying around, just go trade it in, and 20 bucks and they give you a new one full of propane. I hooked it up, and I want to talk about this really quick. This little thing here on the chain is a match light device. So you just put a match in it and light it, and then you can put it in there next to the propane burner and light it if your igniter doesn't work. I think that's kind of a cool little addition. Not necessary, but it is nice to have. So first thing I'm going to do now that I've sprayed down the inside of it is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push the igniter. So we don't want that in there. So I'm going to push the igniter, make sure there's no propane in there. Then I'm going to turn it on, down to medium, and push the ignite button. In here is a really good range to light it. And it's just going to go, and then I'm going to adjust it. And it says medium right there, so we're going to start there and see what kind of temperature we get. So now we have this. So we went ahead and started the smoker and put the flame disc bowl in there. And the directions are a little bit confusing in this aspect because it says the flame disc bowl and it clearly brings flame through the bowl. So if you put wood chips in there directly, they would light on fire. It's possible that you could put it on low and they wouldn't light on fire, but I don't see exactly how. So what I did is I went ahead and grabbed one of the pans out of my Big Chief smoker. I have a Big Chief and a Little Chief sitting right over here, and I will show you one. So this is one of my pans, one of the older ones of the two, and you could easily clean that up the same way you would a cast iron pan by using salt water and a scrubbing pad and just rubbing it with the salt in the salt water. The salt will act as an abrasive and rip off most of that rust. And this is a smoke box, the kind that you would use in a propane grill or something like that. This would work great in this unit, but the downside with this is there's no handle. So you would need to use a strong pair of tongs or maybe even a pair of long pliers or something if you wanted to pick this in and out. Right now, we have one of these in there and it's set on pretty low, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but it is smoking pretty good. So we're just gonna go with that for today. But also another option for this, and I've read this a lot online, is that people like to use small cast iron pans. I think that you could get a handleless in there that was somewhere in the range of about 9 inches. So I know Lodge makes a 10-inch grill style pan for outdoor cooking, like on breakfast stove or something like that. But you can see it is smoking right along. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the lid. I guess close the door for you. And then back here, we have the vent, and I'm gonna put the vent on about half. I will go ahead and take a picture of that for you so you can see that. And it looks like if you look at this picture here, it looks like you'll be able to clearly see the smoke coming out of that vent. We're gonna go ahead and run the smoking process, and this is gonna take approximately an hour. What we're gonna do is we're gonna slowly increase it until we get to the temperature we want, but we wanna be above 300 degrees. Let's see what the directions call for. So we're gonna slowly increase the temperature until we get to where we want. The directions call for 350 degrees, but usually about anywhere above 300 is usually a good temperature. A little more is not bad. But we wanna run it with smoke for an hour at that temperature, and that will coat the whole inside with the smoke, and we wanna keep the smoke going strong and the temperature, and it'll all activate with that oil and just kind of stick to the inside and completely flavor it and get rid of all the manufacturing flavors. So we will be back to that in, I don't know, for you it'll be a second, for me it'll be about an hour. We have completed our seasoning process, so let's go ahead and open it and take a look. Now, I don't know if you can see this here, but there's a little bit of black on the door there, and that's a little bit of running, so the oil and the smoke mixed and it ran a little bit, and it's all the way around the back here, which I'm sure you won't be able to see that, but it's pretty well exactly the way we wanted it to turn out. So it is ready to cook. I'm gonna go ahead and open the bottom. It's still on right now. So this is all the way burned up. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off, and then I'm gonna grab a glove. This is one of my Weber gloves that I bought on sale on Amazon, and this has been one of my better things. I don't use it as much as I should, but it works really well. So I'm pulling out the whole fire pan here and just setting it down just because it's convenient. And this is the pan of wood chips that I used, and you can see they're well burned out. I'm going to take a break 1 second here while I dump this out. I have my fire pit right behind the camera there, so it's a good place to get rid of the hot coals. And you can see that this is, like I said, it's just a standard Big Chief or Little Chief smoked pan, and the wood chips go in there and it works great. This is completely off and it will cool down over time. We're gonna let it cool for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna start with my next video, which is gonna be a pork video. So we want something that's gonna help season it really good, and so fatty pork is definitely a direction I wanna go. There were two other things I wanted to mention to you before we wrap this video up, and this is the first thing I wanted to mention to you. This is just a standard first alert fire extinguisher, and I have 3 of them around my house. I keep one of them over around the corner there underneath the end of the tiny house behind us, so that way it stays out of the rain, but it's quick and easy to grab. And I have one in my garage and one underneath my kitchen sink. This is the most important tool that you can have in your life. Also, I have some other smaller ones in my boat. They are not the same. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is that most of the parts were wrapped, and I think I showed this to you in the beginning, in this kind of foam thing. And you'll see that everything is nice and secure in there, and it just comes right out without any damage. I don't know if I would consider this stuff better than bubble wrap, but it sure is really nice. This is the bag that the smoker came in. I threw all of the garbage in there. Now, it could be packed down and be small, but all this stuff is the non-recyclable plastic and foam that is in there to protect it. Also, one other thing is that there was a lot of cardboard. All the cardboard is going into recycling. I've gotten most of it already cleaned up in between the shots, and I think I've covered everything in this video. So far, so good. The only thing that I'm concerned about with this smoker is the lack of a wood chip pan, and I don't know if then I'm missing something or if it's just something that you normally would add as an aftermarket part. And then a seal for the bottom. I think that if you had some small lava lock seal, that this would be a good place to add it. I have lava lock silicone, but this unit, there's no gaps or anything I'd like to seal. But so far, everything looks nice and clean, and it arrived completely undamaged, which makes me really happy. So that's it for today, and what we're gonna do is we will start dinner for my next video and to complete the seasoning. I'll see you then.